Hey everyone, and welcome to Sagas of the Shimmering Sea. This is the Hidden Tomb of Akarut, and we are debating what to do with this campaign because guess what? It's well, they can kind of call it quits whenever they want. It's their choice. And right now they're sort of debating whether or not or how, if they do choose to do so, they are going to take on Nalri, the psionic who has tricked them into helping her get a body of a Trask. They're plotting, they're planning, they're figuring it all out, and I figured we might as well just watch them do that. So let's have some fun and see what happens. Guys, up to you.
Fun. But yeah, so that's our bargaining chip is like if we destroy the body of the Tarash, she's going to meet somebody new. If we bring Grastic in, who's to say that she won't take care of like she won't take over the most mentally enfeebled of us, right? Right? Because if he has like oh, of course, yeah. But like, yeah, children are weak. they, they, they are, they are. You are weak, child. I say to a 5-year-old baby. But nah, like, yeah, who's to say that she doesn't take over Grasstick and then we're forced to fight Grasstick? We wouldn't want to bring him into the, you know, kind of danger zone of that, because that would be heartbreaking.
you know, try to kill her at all.
What would we be able to do? How? I mean, like, yeah, I guess. So,
I am primarily, uh, I'm primarily thinking about the utility that she has as a giant effortlessly earth-destroying monster, uh, in my effort to make the tomb into something better. I think you're all apprised of what I'm trying to do. I think she would be useful.
oh, oh man, but like,
Honestly, the only problem with that is that she eats people. So I thought that's what the Taras body needed to live.
This is me just not
I
remembering. Was
distinctly
that
remember,
established?
like, there was a whole, like, oh, she's always hungry thing.
yeah, and that's why the temple is shaking.
Oh no, it was the actual name. uh yeah, not Trask, but yeah, that's what or it's not just the Trask anymore, it's Nollery. I think once she first got in there she was very much acting like a Trask, but who knows, by now maybe she adjusted, maybe she's more herself or who she was before she began dying.
Oh.
She could probably control herself, but eventually she would need to feed or she'd starve.
I think the other thing too is like this is more of like a philosophical question, but should we let something that has that much power and dominion over man like live and continue to grow stronger? That's I fully agree, which is why it's a really hard question. Like, do we take up this mantle of like peacekeeping through the elimination of power, or yeah, it's hard.
How does she even inhabit the Tuas body? Does she have to do some kind of ritual? Because if we can get her out of it, I guess by killing the Tuas body, then in the meantime, if she's trying to do something, we can try and kill her in between in that like waiting period.
I took her there and she did what she did. It was not quick. It wasn't a moment and then she was in. It was a ritual. It took minutes.
And her own body's not particularly. I
She'd
don't know if
need,
that's what.
she'd need something to transfer into. She wouldn't transfer back into her old body, that would defeat the point.
Yeah.
She'd probably take one of ours, if
Also
possible.
not useful. Yeah, yeah.
What happens? And this is like I suppose in game. So if the body that she's using as a host is gone, what happens to her sort of her own conscious, her soul, I suppose.
I think if the body died while she was still in it, she would die.
I
Most
think she
likely.
goes to the great big farm in the sky. with all the other happy little puppies. Like,
Well, do we remember anything about the ritual? Because if there's something, if it has some kind of somatic component, or she has to draw something, by her being in the Taras body, it would already be restricting what she can do.
this is true too.
That's true. We could probably find out about the ritual from the library.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a second.
Don't like it when you say things like that.
Oh boy, I have a fun idea. So we've proven in the past that we can use the ribs of the Demogorgon on a, I guess, willing, I think is the thing. Not sure if it's willing or unwilling, but willing person in order to enter their mental headspace, right? Like, it's obviously like a separate dimension type of deal, but who's to say that we can't use that to visually experience memories again?
Are you planning on using it on Nari and then
On Tiss. No, because like, no, you sir have witnessed the ritual. So if our goal is to find out about the ritual, right? Entering your headspace and viewing it directly with our extraordinarily magic adept.
That's all this intrusive stuff. My memory isn't that good, but
This is
Jiminy.
fair. I like how just the crazy doctor is like, let's open up his skull in order to find. I could just tell you.
assume.
Puts down his saw blades and hack blades.
it's like a good idea?
Do you still have the spear?
Yeah, here, they'll give it back to you. So,
I have a few things
Wait,
to check
hang
in on. Yeah.
Sorry. Physically, where are we at this moment? Are we? Because half of us are still like.
good question.
I think we fast forward or something, because if we started in Media
Yeah.
Rise, I would have been in the river, 100 feet away from you all.
Yeah, I've just realised that we never actually said where we were though.
Sure, then I imagine we would have made our way back to the Temple of the Six.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Can
I have a few
assume
things
we've had a
to.
long rest?
I grant you all a long rest with the power of my DM-controlled reality.
Oh yeah. Spell slots.
Very necessary.
HP. I'm at 215 HP now. Feels nice and round, nice and even. Well, not even, but.
Did we hit level? Oh, we did hit level 20, huh?
Level up.
Did I level up? I don't think I did. That's
Really?
unfortunate. Like, all right, I should probably do that. Maybe I'll get
like show
over
stuff.
60 hit points. Who knows? All right.
Doubt it.
Phase step, Tides of Chaos. All right, spells. Oh man, this is stressful. A lot of stuff.
I'm also
man.
very impressed with the level 20 wizard ability.
Oh, I don't even get a level 20. I'm level 19 and 1 in sorcerer, baby.
Did you say you're unimpressed with the level 20 wizard ability?
No, not really.
I just didn't hear what you said.
No, I wasn't very impressed.
Hmm.
The signature spells.
Oh, I get a 4th level spell slot.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I don't think it's impressive, but basically, I think it's 2 free. It's 2 extra spell slots for 3rd level. Is really what it comes down to. It's not nearly as good as the level 18 spell mastery thing, make 2 spells cantrips.
Yeah,
But
that was really cool. That was really helpful.
I think that's sort of their intent, is to say, and now you can have enough 3rd level slots that these are basically cantrips too. That's sort of their idea, but they wanted to limit it. Which I
Yeah.
think is stupid. But yes, I think that,
Also
like,
very exciting.
yeah, I mean, I get it. It's like, I always want to be able to just cast a fireball. Fireball should be a cantrip to me. And then fireball is now, it's not a cantrip, but you can cast it 6
Fireball and
times.
counterspell are the ones I picked. So
Well, those are the right choices. Those are the right
Guys,
choices.
I completely forgot about something that we had. We don't even need to do the disguising the package thing. We don't even need to fuck with the package at all. You know why? We have the portable black hole.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can just stuff that full of everything that we need. Unfortunately, but like, I mean,
Can you? I thought though that you could only interact with whatever's in the hole if you're in the hole.
I'm sure it could fall out.
Like it's not like a bag that you could turn inside out and like put everything. It has its own gravity inside. It doesn't matter what orientation the hole is on the
Oh,
outside. So it's
yeah,
not like you can tip out whatever's in there.
that is a good question. Yeah, we could test that. Like we could literally test that by putting an apple in and seeing if it falls out. Does it fall out if we turn it upside down? Oh, and you're muted. What'd you say, Matt? Oh, you're muted.
I said it does not.
Okay, fuck. Yeah, that becomes a lot harder since we would be.
I mean, you could still do the package
Also-
thing, but just have it in the hole.
Also, just
Yeah.
for the record, Tiss is right. You can actually, you have the hole out. You can drop something and it'll go into it, and then it won't come out. Or you could throw something up into it and it won't come out. Both sides are holes.
Oh, that's cool.
You could put the package inside the hole, bring the hole with you. You know, when you're in the stomach, you just pull on the string and pull the package out of the hole.
That is
would
true
also
too.
work.
Yeah. Let's see.
It would be easier than putting it down her throat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because the
Like,
other problem with that
that's
is that she could just bite on the string and sever the.
Yeah. Okay, so what would I take for a 4th level?
I'm just having a look at a 4th level conjuration spell. So Dimension Door. We could maybe use that to get out of the body, because you can teleport to a spot that you can visualize. You don't actually have to see it.
Oh shit! Wait, really? Oh, dude, you're so.
When you can visualize by stating distance and direction.
Oh, dude, you're a fucking genius. Yeah, I'm taking that. That's perfect. I saw that and I was like, what use is another phase step, right? So, yeah. Oh, that's insane. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so we have a delivery, we have an exit, and I would assume that we have the ability to make the materials. So I guess we have a plan.
Been able to successfully, and it's kind of like done that thing where they just kind of like backstep slowly out of the conversation, and it has gone somewhere.
Are you okay?
Dreamer's Thorn, notably after you had handed over Dreamer's Thorn.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, that conversation can continue. I don't mean to derail it, but
Yeah,
that's what
no,
happened.
that's fine. But like, are you okay? Like, is everything good?
Are you asking Tiss or asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking Tiss.
Oh, you're following then?
I would assume like it would be noticeable, right? Like, yeah. So I would be concerned as a friend. Like,
I'm good. I am also just trying to make preparation, so to speak. Got some people to check in on, and Tiss holds up Dreamer's Thorn. and like nods like as reassuringly as one can nod.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, so I think this highlights a very big issue with D&D as a whole when it comes to social interactions, because
Mm.
it is not that I don't trust you, right? Because with all of my heart, I do love and care for you and do not think that you are like, lying to me, but can I roll an insight check to check if you're lying to me? Like, yeah, because like I feel like you would probably be a pretty bad like at hiding things. Okay.
Fucking binoculars, it's 17. So
Oh
if
shit.
if it came
Okay,
down
well,
to it, you
I
you
have
can
zero
roll.
chance. Like,
I may do it actually.
yeah,
PvP me.
hell yeah.
Do it.
Let's see, insight. Let's go. 16.
Persuasion.
Literally can't roll below that. He has
Actually
a plus
rolls a nat
17. He
one.
could roll a 1 and he would win.
I did roll a
Did
one,
roll
didn't
a
I?
one.
Still wins.
He actually rolled a one. Amazing.
Phenomenal.
But yeah, no, I just want to make sure that you're like okay, and that like, because like if it were me and I were doing that, I would be planning on doing something stupid. So like, I just
Potentially stupid. Well, okay, I'll tell you. I think it's a bad enough the idea that we shouldn't, we can keep it on the down low. Um, you are aware of the god that I worship before Lyra, right?
community.
In so many words, yes, exactly. Yamas is the god of community, the god that is a stand-in uh, for things that exist as a community of many other things, as a gathering and collaboration of many other things. I think that by I think that by their very nature, Yemis should be a font, a collection of divinity, like the little shard that Lyra got from the spider, right? My thinking is that Yemis is probably just, you know, n of those, however many of those, and I think this is the I'll say the foolish part rather than what I said before. The foolish part of this is that it's, well, a long shot, uh, but also I don't know how it would work to split that up. But that's what I want to do. Imagine if you and I and Celia were um like Lara.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean I could see it. Like it is the purpose
If
of
we're talking about, are you going to talk to Yemison?
Mm.
I guess.
we care about you. It's an
Um,
important time in our lives.
I tried to leave without letting the conversation stop. I meant not to. But yeah, I'm
Bullshit.
going to talk to
just
Yemis.
we love you
imagining
too much.
if like you took the spear and you just started wandering off, and we all just like kept our conversation up, and we just started wandering absent-mindedly along with you.
No sense. Yeah, but yes, yeah,
Um,
that's what I intend to
but
do.
if
Go
you
ahead.
are talking to Yemis though, if they are the god of community, the entire reason that we're trying to defeat the Tarax is because they're probably going to eat everyone.
They will eat the
So that
community.
feels like something Yemis would be annoyed about.
I mean, a community is never closer when inside the stomach of a large beast. I guess. Like, fair. I just
Matt, did we find out what I just totally don't forget, or I don't remember the like conversation about the Trask subsisting on people. Is that true?
We don't know that.
Okay.
Did I? I
Um
might have just made this up.
I yeah.
Of Zisha said that it was taking care of the Taras.
But I mean, I guess we could ask.
yeah.
Talking with Ozisha. I was going to anyway. That was my next stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm up for that. I'm not sure how she feels about me though.
Or actually, I should probably stay behind and start making some of the ingredients for Plan B. We'll call it Plan B.
Mhm.
That's a good question. I think I'm good, but yeah, I do need the wand, the fruit wand or plant
Can you
wand.
use it?
Oh, good question. I think so, right? Like, or at least
You're
there should
welcome
be.
to it, but
Yeah, there should be somebody skilled enough, I guess. I don't know. You seem to be exceptionally skilled, but you also want to go with the test for the thing. So yeah,
I'll give you
I'm
the wand.
literally okay. Yeah, I'm literally back here making fruit and putting pea into a bowl. So like, it's not exactly glorious. And for the stream, yes, we're not just fizzing in bowls. It's for phosphorus. It is a way that people made it back in the old days. Thank the crazy philosophers that think
The first person to isolate it, right? I forget the story, but yeah, big old vats of yeah.
Yep. They thought that it was human essence and it would make you immortal. So
Samuel, we can use I'll get all my followers to
Also,
help
for the
compost.
stream, they were wrong. Sorry, just to keep that is what they believed. They
Which
they
part?
that phosphorus would make you immortal.
Are you sure, Matt? When's the last time you've eaten phosphorus, huh?
I am merely saying, if you are watching this stream and you are young, do not eat phosphorus to become immortal.
And we have no proof that it was
So
not
don't boil your pea.
evil wizards that have caused the downfall of the immortals that had drank and eaten phosphorus. So Bear Grylls is still alive, and that man has consumed more faux phosphorus than anybody else that I've seen. So who knows? Could be.
Anyway,
Actually,
Zero, we can speed up the phosphorus process. I'll get all my followers to help pee in bottles or whatever.
Gross, but I appreciate it. We'll have a communal people.
potatoes and piss.
I swear to God, this is the worst idea I've ever heard. And like, I mean that. I just want you guys to know, I really mean that. I think that, like, literally, of all the bad ideas that Jack has brought to the table, Asma's idea of, this new fledgling religion that I just started that I only had some sort of tentative control over, but worships me as a god. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them about peeing.
Hey man, like, we're not a cult. We just ask you to pee in a bowl every once in a while, and like, it's how it is, man. Like, sometimes, like, that's a good part of the Christian religion or any other religion. Like,
If I just asked the Temple of the Six, if I was like, hey, if you want to help out, can you piss into a bucket, please?
yeah, I think that's a little bit
That
more
might
awkward.
work.
I think the religious part at least gives it some legs, right? Because I think it's a lot easier to just like claim it to be a religious favor, like, because like, I don't know, man. If somebody was like, "Hey,"
He is
Religion is
definitely
going
going to
to have
get
so many
prayers
problems with
asking whether
control,
they can.
assault, and issues in the future.
People are going to pray to Lyra and ask for a miracle, and she's going to be like, "Oh, what are you going to give me in return?" They're just going to be like, "I have a bottle of weed."
Yeah, equivalent.
Hey man, as long as we don't start doing baptisms, I think it's fine. Like,
We do baptisms in vodka, like Smirnoff.
there you go. See, that's fine. That's what the Russians do. Like,
Potatoes is perfect.
exactly. Oh.
What's the total?
Because my bonus is 0. Oh
Anyone
no,
have a
actually, I guess
passive
it's 1.
perception of that high?
Is anyone what?
Have a passive perception of 20 or higher.
No. I think we're all also distracted by the piss conversation.
Bam, Tiss is gone. Tiss, where do you go?
This is made it.
Do I have a room? I know we have quarters, but I forget if I have.
No.
I'll borrow the quarters. Yeah, for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing what I've done before and haven't done in a while since we were up top living in tents. I try to meditate and commune with Yamis through the dream spell-like effect of Jeeper's Star.
Sure. ocean waves. You hear the ocean waves first, and then you feel them lapping against your bare talons, feet, and your tail. And you feel like you're standing in the sand on the beach. And you thought your eyes were open, but then you open them. And you see a coral reef before you. The ocean laps at your feet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I visualize that completely wrong. I, you know, don't like headlong run, but walk into the ocean, resolutely, um,
The
not trying to
water
fight the
comes to
resistance.
your waist, up to your neck, and then over your head. Coral grows in interesting angles, fish swimming in and out, an eel, small little crawling creatures. All of this coral is teeming with life. A fish swims up to your nose, looks at you. Goes and plants a little kiss right on the tip of your nose.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you doing better than you were last time I was here.
It plants another little kiss on your nose.
Piece of like transparency, I guess. This is like actually somewhat concerning to Tis because I think typically by now, or not quite traditionally, but historically, Yamas has like begun speaking by this point.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is too small for me to like just grasp, and I can't grab its collar and say, "Who are you?" But being somewhat visibly distressed and maybe stepping back a bit, Tis does ask, "Who is this Yamas?"
Fish swims towards you again, plants another little kiss on your nose. Swims back to keep your respectful distance.
Um, what has changed? Okay, so I'm referencing three states, so to speak, of Yamas in Tiss's mind.
Mhm.
The basically the state that established the image or the concept of the god, so to speak. Say that again. Uh, the ball of fish that makes a face out of its components, Yamas. The second being sick Yamas. After having been broken from the bond of the pallid one, yeah. Um, and then now, what differences am I noticing?
Roll a perception check.
Filter? No. 14.
The place is much more expansive, much more open. It doesn't feel like a prison anymore. The ocean feels endless, whereas before it felt trapped. That's your biggest difference that you notice. Also, for whatever reason, Yemis isn't speaking loudly, if they're speaking at all.
But of all the living things that are present, can I tell like on what level of connectedness they're existing at? Like, do I does it feel as much like a community as it has before?
Roll an insight check. 100%. It's all working together. It feels very connected.
Okay. Okay. False alarm. Just a anxious false alarm. Okay. Uh, I I came here, frankly. I think probably you know me too well for me to, you know, put up any facade. I came to ask something of you that I think exceeds anything that I've asked before. I think that the world would be best served if you were not only a whole made up of many parts, uh, but many parts that made their home in the world. If that makes sense. I think divinity is something that shouldn't define castes and hierarchies as it does now. And I think the way to remedy that is for any god, really, but I think specifically you to, I don't know, to spread yourself as much as you can across mortals. Is that feasible? Is that possible?
The fish. It's a clownfish. Turns its back on you and starts swimming away. It stops and turns and looks back at you. It swims in a circle.
I don't understand. Uh, I didn't realize how much I relied on you speaking to me, but I don't know what you expect or what you want.
The fish gives you a look. Hard to read fish.
Um, I mean, yeah, my nature isn't like popping or anything. Uh, I am just going to take the safer assumption, make the safer assumption, and assume that you just need time to think about that. I will be back at another time. Thank you. Regardless, thank you. And just ends the spell.
And you are back in the Temple of the Six.
I find the group. I'll hit the library, assuming they moved the boiling piss conversation there.
Just returns.
All right. So, man, this is like. Oh wait, we were going to go to Azisha too. Ask her about stuff. You and Em, I think.
I'm happy to go. About her eating habits. About the Tarrasque's eating habits, really.
But yeah, I'm good to do that.
Is anyone else coming?
I gotta stay behind, but I'll be preparing, and I hope you guys like. If you guys need anything, we have a quicker passage down to there. So yeah, I don't know how we get in touch, but this is true. Yeah.
Okay, so down to Obzisha's chambers, you make your way. Standing in front of them is Alec, the Death Knight.
Hey. Hi. How you doing?
You killed Doxies.
Good. Yeah. Didn't expect to see him there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How does Objishra feel about that? Do you know?
Giddy.
Cool.
You've killed Doxies, you've killed Akarut, you've killed the other one. I have to ask, is Obzisha
Yes.
next?
No. No. But we would like to talk
Are you lying to me?
to Objishra if at all possible. I'm not lying.
He stares at you silently for about 40 seconds. You wish to speak to her?
Yeah.
Very well. Door opens. Obzisha is lying on her back with her giant dragon belly totally exposed, just rolling around in gold and treasure. Head pops up, looks at you all.
Hello.
You killed Doxies.
We did.
Hi. Hello. Hello?
Really distracted by the whole Yamas thing.
You have need, or speak, or wish, or desire? I am inclined to grant you a boon, considering what you have done for me.
Well,
We need stuff, I think.
didn't say no.
Information?
Yes, that is what we came for. You mentioned before that you played a part in keeping the Tarask under control. Is that correct?
True. Less so now than I used to.
Can I ask a few questions about the Tarask?
I am inclined to help you.
Why did it need to be kept under control? Did it pose a threat?
Oh, yes.
How? Of course, it's a very it's a, you know, it has a lot of strength and it could cause a lot of damage. But was it inclined to cause damage?
Mhm.
How would it do that? Was there a specific way it would do that? Did it do it just for fun or?
Oh, there's many different theories about the origins of the Tarask. It is the essence of the planet itself, some people think. But in essence, it served as a methodology of renewal for the entirety of the planet. Much like forest fires can serve to revitalize certain levels of mast upon the forest floor, keep the forest strong and healthy, the Tarask would devour all the world, and new civilizations would be built from the wreckage.
How would it devour?
With its mouth.
Indiscriminately?
Till it's full, usually about a third to half the world at a time.
Right.
Sometimes people manage to stop it, but that merely holds it off for a while. It's immortal functionally. Yes. And below the room over there.
Right, thank you.
Do you think now Nari inhabits that body? Is she particularly inclined to continue that tradition?
Hard to say. She hasn't mentioned anything.
And you kept it under control so it didn't devour. How did
So
you do that?
Civilization could grow and expand, so we could try new things.
How did you keep it down?
Magic. Much magic.
What kind of magic, though?
Your kind of magic, of course. The kind that we invented.
Ah. Ah. Possibilities are opened up. Okay.
Matt, can I ask a question on behalf
Yeah,
of
go
a
for it.
very, very distracted Tis?
Yeah, sure.
Did Yemis not talk to me because I'm not devoted to them anymore?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to do with that. That's
Yemis
hilarious, though.
will speak only as directly to absolute followers, and will speak sort of vaguely. The fish was trying to communicate with you, but will
Yeah, I'm
only
just
communicate to a certain extent, if you know what I mean. But now
yeah,
that you
as
are
much
not
as
a
the fish
follower
could.
of Yemis, the follower of now that you are not a devotee of Yemis, Yemis is not inclined to help you. Yemis has some fondness for you, and so is willing to answer questions or whatever. But
Oh, that makes me feel good. Yeah, Tis is like periodically staring off into space, just like having a tiny crisis and arriving at that.
ask Ojishra,
Yes.
how do you feel about the Tarask being so close?
What do you mean?
You have a very rich civilization here.
One that buried me,
Is it not?
imprisoned me for my services.
I suppose. That's very true. Is it not a worry having such destructive power quite so close?
It was, hence why I was taming it. Or rather, was poisoning it, depending on how you look at it.
But it doesn't bother you anymore?
No. She's not there.
Sorry?
She's not there.
The Tarask isn't there?
Yeah. Exploring. She'll come back when she's ready.
Oh. Okay.
That's a twist.
Sure is. Did they say where they were going, or?
I think she, her pronouns are most appropriate at this point. Just for the record. But no, she wanted to sort of test out her body a little bit, see what she could do. She's been sleeping for a while.
Understandable.
Mostly from what I understand, the Trask is a destructive force.
Cool. Then probably she's gonna go destroy something.
Oh god. Oh god, it's another
Maybe the
again.
whole world for all I care. She's a much better conversationalist than the brain dead thing that was there before. I like her. You did good, Tis. You did good.
I wouldn't have taken you as the nihilistic type.
Nihilistic? What do you mean?
You said she could destroy the world for all you care.
I mean, I'll be fine. I can rebuild. She's not a destructive force that's tethered immediately beneath me so that it will only eat the thing that is directly in front of it and kill me. So I had to imprison the old one, hence the development. But now it is an intelligent creature, a thinking creature, one that can strategize and plan, one that can, I don't know, potentially see the value of an ally.
You're her ally.
Of course. Why wouldn't you be?
I just didn't realize you were so close. That's all. Did you talk about a plan then?
Nope.
Out of interest, if you did have a plan, what would your plan be?
A plan for what?
Destruction. Where would you go first?
Oh, I don't actually care about destruction. You know this, right? I just care about my research. I just didn't want to be destroyed. Wherever Nolary wants to go, she can go. Wherever she wants to destroy, she can destroy. Why? Do you have something you want to destroy? I can whisper in her ear. Any
All right. Although, do you have a communication line open with her?
Not right now, but she'll come back. What does who want?
She wanted something before she started decaying. What does she want?
I don't know. I'm not entirely certain she knows. I think my assessment of her my assessment of her is that she was decaying slowly for so long that she became obsessed with not decaying and has been working towards that for so long that that consumed her, and now she no longer is decaying, which you have to admit is pretty freaking spectacular. She's been given by you, Tis, her heart's desire, and I imagine that it takes time to figure out what you want, and all you've wanted for years is one thing.
Just thought she would have been more gracious with it. I don't know. Fine, don't often then go and try to destroy the world they were trying to live in longer. Um, if you, to ask one more thing, if you would let her know that we'd like an audience at some point when she does get back, I would be grateful.
Sure. Are you intending on killing her? Ah, fair.
I would like not to. I told you what I intended to do. I intend to open the tomb up. Uh, I would like to open it for you as well. I think research is harmless enough that you don't pose a threat to the world. I understand what the world has taken from you and how the world has harmed you, but I trust that you're far wiser than to seek out base revenge and destruction and what have you. I think Nalri could be useful in that too. I think we could all benefit from it.
Sure. I have no objection. I will do I can abide by rules, as it were. I have no intention of even going above the Temple of the Six. I'm quite happy here with me and Nulri and Alec. And occasionally we can spread some rumors and let some beings from above come and visit me, and I won't eat them unless they want to be eaten or whatever. We can make do. Yeah, we can work this out. There's no need for us to be enemies, too, I'm sure.
I'm limited in my ability to cast spells and understand spells, not like you two. Uh, is your pursuit magic or is your pursuit blood magic? And to what extent?
Blood magic. So prosaic. Uh, how to put it? Once my research was blood magic. Now it has gone much further. Much
What are you researching now?
past that. This planet, this place, Isaim, it is called in the common tongue now. It is alive.
Oh,
You've come across a substance, I'm sure you have. It's called Earth's blood.
Earth's blood.
Yes, of course. It is more literal than you realize. Earth's blood is exactly what it is described as. It is the blood of this planet. At the core of this planet, deep inside, there is not rock or lava or anything else that most planets seem to operate on. Instead, there is a beating and pulsating blue heart that is different than every other planet that I've heard of. Why? Why is this planet different? What makes it so? built this way. And yes, this planet did not form, it was built. So who built it? And how? And for what reason? And why is there a void at the heart of the heart? This is what I research. This is what I must find out. This is what I seek to uncover.
I am very interested in your research. That sounds intriguing.
Well, it is what I work on. You wish to know more? There's only so much I can tell. I can get you into theories and speculations, but little else.
I would very much love to at some point, but unfortunately my priorities bring me elsewhere at the moment.
Very well. Feel free to come down anytime you wish to explore.
If you need anything brought to you, feel free to
You
ask.
capture people? Or is that immoral for you?
You wanted what?
Do you capture people?
My people?
No, I'm wondering. You asked if I needed something brought to me. If I needed someone brought to me.
No, if you needed anything
But not a
specifically brought
person.
to you.
Like if I needed a person brought to me, you could not do that.
That would depend on the person and the reason, I suppose. Do you need a person?
It has been implied in some of my notes that there is one, in some of my spell casting, some of my divinings, that there is a person that might be able to answer some of my questions. And yes, I crave their presence, but they avoid me. They are slippery, uncatchable.
Would they be in danger if they came?
Depends on if they answered my questions or not, I guess.
Sounds like someone like that would be difficult to harm.
Possibly. Which is a difficulty as well, of course.
I think I know who she's talking about.
So no, then you
I have
don't
more loyalty.
kidnap people and bring them here for me.
If you required a volunteer for research and you could ensure them no harm, I could ask for volunteers, but that is all I could ask.
Okay. I will keep your offer in mind. I'm sure that there will be times that I will require research materials and the like that you won't mind getting me, things that don't have any pesky moral complications.
Of course.
Does that answer your question, Tiss, about my efforts and what I work towards? Good.
That endeavor, wouldn't she?
Indeed, exactly. When I had the opportunity to have someone in the Trask that is not mindless, but has a mind, a thinking mind, and could help me explore the deepest parts of the planet. Well, yes. Well, the it is my belief, and I am not certain that I am right, so do not take this as truth. But it is my belief that the Tarask was introduced to the ecosystem of this planet to prevent civilizations from lasting too long.
They can last too long? There's a time limit?
Oh, sorry, not from my perspective, but from some other perspective. Yes, apparently.
Would you say would you say that's the same person's perspective? Like the person who made our planet, maybe?
That would be my current guess. That they have, that whoever, whatever, however Isaim was constructed, or for whatever purpose, or however it was constructed, there was a desire that civilizations upon it would not last forever, that instead they would get buried time and time again, harvested or culled from within. That's a possible theory too. I don't know. It's not built in a way that makes it easy to mine or study or get these things. So much as of this is protective or layers. I feel like there are giant, almost shields within the planet. I'm doing my best here.
I have one more question for you.
I have answers.
Do you I know you said you were happy to have an intelligent mind in the Tarask.
Yes.
Did you speak to Nari before she took over the Tarask?
Briefly, but she did not reveal her intention for me.
I was more wondering if you had noticed a change in her as she took over the Tarask, but if you didn't know her before, then
She seems more invincible than her old little fragile body. Could have poked a hole through that with a toothpick. Just poke, and then she would have died. This whole time, she only had 3 hit points.
goodness. She had her own defenses though, in her magic.
That is true.
Anyway, I'm glad to see you well.
Of course. I am glad to see
think
you
me
well.
and Tess have places to be.
Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
It was very nice to see you again.
Always a pleasure. And nice work with Doxies. That was satisfying to see Doxies get boiled alive in dark water that wasn't even on him. Oh, his pain was delicious. I loved it. Loved it so much. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, you mean fighting against Doxies?
Not like formally. I guess my
Oh,
greater.
yeah.
I guess a better question is, did she see that through him, or is one of us,
Oh,
compromised?
no, she's been specializing in divination magic. She'll flat out tell you that.
She
Sorry.
can't just do that. Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, she can just spy on areas inside the tomb pretty easily.
Okay. I think with that, we'll probably make our way out.
You return to the Temple of Six.
That was enlightening.
Potential, you know, potential.
Yeah, that's wild.
Philosophical.
I figure we relay all that information, all those horrifying revelations, to Lyra and Zuriel.
It's a shame that she's not here though. The Tarask, anyways.
Where could she be?
I
And
think-
also, if she is truly that intelligent and she's not taken over by her base instincts, then might not have to kill her.
Well, I mean, I think it's been obvious that she is wreaking havoc on the countrysides, right? Like,
That's
I
sort of
wasn't
her job,
implied.
though.
Yeah, that was implied by the Zisha. But she is saying,
Implication, not definition. Denotation, I guess it would be.
yeah, I guess.
But the whole point of the Tarask is to destroy things every now and then.
Oh yeah, and create a world anew. Yeah, yeah. That's absolutely.
Yeah, so like obviously, it's not ideal, but also I'm not sure we could stop her even if we wanted to. But do we really have to? Because now she's intelligent.
Who so happens to have the body of that thing. It's the
Yeah,
hardware,
also-
not the
We don't know
software.
anything about Nari's view on the world, though. We
Yeah,
didn't
also-
exactly sit down and have a philosophical conversation with her at any point, so.
Kind of fucked up that like our goal was to take somebody who has been dealing with a really wretched illness their entire life and then give said illness back to them and say, "Ha," and use that as a bargaining
Cute.
chip.
That was your goal.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's just
You were like,
hitting
you
me
know what
right now.
the cruelest thing I can do possibly is? I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, like wasn't she very desperate to get rid of her bone disease? Let's give her bone disease.
I don't know. Did we ever say that she specifically had bone disease?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It was a bunch of different wasting diseases. She was very ill, and you guys never figured this out. But in case you were curious, just for the fun of pulling back the curtain a little bit now, since we're getting very late game, Nolri was in fact cursed to get many diseases, basically by someone that no one here officially knows, but some of you here might know from if you watched some other streams.
Huh.
And Nolri was trying to cure herself, but the curse was too powerful to break. So even when she broke the curse, she still had the diseases, and then the diseases were not curable. So had to find new path.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Did she really piss off the curse bearer or something?
It was a series of bad events simultaneously. Yes, is the answer to that. She definitely did, but also the curse bearer had recently acquired new powers and wanted to test them out.
Oh.
So yes and yes.
Poor Lowry. Kind of feel bad now.
I mean, she did it by she pissed her off by being
mean.
It's not wrong to say that Nalri was directly responsible for a fascist coming to power in Chalestra.
Miguel.
Feel free, obviously, not to answer this, but does she have anything to do with the explosion at the Grand Accord?
Indeed, she does.
Huh.
She's a terrorist.
Yeah. UN. Well, not the UN. I think better than the UN, frankly. But yeah, a UN bombing terrorist. Yeah.
She was part of the team.
We do a
And
little
now she's
trolling.
in a Tarask. Brilliant. Great.
Yes. She was.
I can
Sorry,
only
God.
take a hazard of a small guess as to where she's going. Now it could be anywhere, but no, I think it may be a little bit more. Ooh, how does one say? Obvious than anywhere, perhaps. Like,
You
'cause-
know, you know what's upsetting is that like
War going
Nalri.
on?
Oh, sorry, what?
There's a war going on.
This is meta knowledge, but there may not be.
That person that came and helped us, who was from the Grand Accord, tried to recruit us
Monica.
for the war.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was between Chalestra and Prime, the country we're in. Your
Yep.
home country. But Chalestra's warmongering fascist dictator, we don't know, but was recently dealt with.
Do you think Nari's going to go destroy Priam on behalf of the Chalestran war effort then?
I do tell. I think.
Oh.
For Tis, it was like you put an ailing little old lady in front of him and expected him, or not expected him, but like, just that's what it was. And Tis was always going to help no matter what.
Yep. I mean, I cornered you in that one.
Yeah, it's fun.
I knew that was gonna. I knew I was gonna beat you there. Sorry about that.
It's very much like Lucy with the football, and I'm very much
Yep.
Charlie Brown.
I
Yeah,
guess that.
good fun this game, genuinely.
Nope.
It's off again. I'm gonna roll stealth real quick. Please continue the conversation.
Sorry, I'm pulling back a little bit of the curtain because we're getting towards the end, and I'm having fun doing that. Sorry about that, guys. If that affects you. So.
Here to the end. Everybody notices me. I assume 13.
Yep, everyone can see you.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Okay, so yeah, first order of the first thing we need to do is find her.
Yeah, I think
basically.
Okay, I'm gonna say this above game or out of game, I guess. But I think what might be cool is running a one shot. Like I know that we were like planning on taking like a break with everything coming around this area and everything, like, cutting off the campaign and stuff. But I don't think it would be too terrible to take like a couple of months and then like we come back for like one last glory session where we like the Tarask returns, we do what we can or what have you, right? Like I think as like a one shot that would be kind of fun.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what you guys want to do. Like, what do you want to do in the world? You know, like
Yeah.
what are the choices that you want to make moving forward? How do you want to, like, you've been interacting with all these powerful things and powerful and dramatic and interesting forces, and you now are some of them. Um, what is it for you? What is your life? And maybe your life is, let's go out fighting a Trask. That sounds great to me. I'm down to do that. Or maybe it's something totally different. I don't know. You have to tell me. I can only listen.
When you said one shot, I thought you were going to say we have one shot with completely different characters in the place where Nauri has found herself doing some damage.
That could also be fun. Like, honestly, like making level 20 characters and just like going at it with like a new adventuring party would add like a little bit of spice to it. I think also like there is some like emotional value in like it being the classic, like, you know, Serial, fucking Lyra, Tiss, and all the bunch. Because like we are so used to everybody that if something bad were to happen, God forbid, but like, you know, it would be very impactful, and it would also mean a whole lot that we were the ones to like finally put an end to all the stuff that we've done. But I totally agree that like it would be cool as shit that like we would just make a bunch of level 20 characters and run at it with big old swords. Be fun.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that it was going to be like a, oh, there's a Taras suddenly here, let's kill it. I thought it'd be more like a, oh, this is our lives, and suddenly there's a Tarask here. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Can we talk to it? Can we run away? It's not necessarily a bunch of strangers killing her. It could be her killing a bunch of strangers.
But you want to know what I do want? Like at some point in the future, and I will destroy you and everything you hold dear if you don't invite me and you do this, Matt. Like I will be so heartbroken, right?
What?
Murder mystery. Like if you ever run something that is like a murder mystery, I so want in on that for like a session.
Oh, I run a lot of those.
Oh hell yeah.
I run that often.
That is amazing. Yeah. So like at some point, like when
have you ever played a Taste of Murder?
No, I haven't played anything other than D&D.
Might irritate you too much. It irritates me sometimes. Ooh. But it's so good. It's so close to being so freaking good. I just wish I could find a way to fix it. But I shouldn't. I should just play the game as written. But what it has some things that annoy me. But nonetheless, yeah, sure, I'll run a Taste for Murder for you.
It sounds that just sounds fun. And, but yeah, I don't know what because like I'm
all rogue game.
So, but oh, I gotta say it is heartbreaking that it is coming to an end. Like,
yeah.
So I think then maybe
but also,
go for it, Emily.
It's heartbreaking that it's coming to an end, obviously, but also I feel like at least Selya kind of has a. She basically is at her endpoint. Like if we stopped right now, I feel like she would be in a good place.
I agree. I think like we are pretty sated as characters. I think that like there's nothing that we can like it's obviously time, but man, does it hurt to see the watch.
But the thing is, like we've been going after all these active threats, and the Tarask isn't really an active threat at the moment because she's not actively threatening us. She is a threatening presence somewhere, but as it stands, our characters are pretty well seated, and they just.
Then I think what I'm going to do is we'll do another session next week. But I want each of you over the course of this week. You've got homework. I'm giving you homework, people. Homework, like a butthole. No, think about your character and think about what your character does tomorrow, over the next week, over the next month, over the next year, and over the next 10 years.
Okay, so I flip a coin on whether or not I'm going to be a deranged mad scientist and start a horrible, horrible, villainous campaign, or if I'm going to be a very good, nice boy who makes medicine for all the good boys and also happens to create monstrosities in their pastime.
So think about it, and as we play, we'll have, and next week what we'll do, we'll really just have a discussion. Is what it's going to feel like. I may guide the discussion a little bit and ask questions, but in essence, that's what we're going to do. I'm just gonna turn to each of you in turn and say, what did you do tomorrow? What did you do over the next week, over the next month? And we'll really use that to sort of build an epilogue for each of your characters. Feel free to insert yourself into each other's stories or to ask other people to be part of your story. And we'll just solve everything that way next week.
That'd be amazing.
Does that sound good? Everyone down for that? Okay. And if part of that is you hunt down Nolri and kill Latrask, that's fine. Don't shy away from things because you're afraid that they're too big or too ambitious. No, you guys are level 20 characters. You can shape the world.
You're right, Matt. I should take over the world.
I may challenge you in some ways or something like that, or other people may challenge you in some ways. We may need to say, okay, well, how is that done? But even things that seem like things that I've said no to, don't presume that means no. Presume that means you've got to find a path or something. Does that make sense? Everyone feel good? Okay. Then I think what we will do is we'll end the stream here and now. And next week we will launch our epilogue and see where we go from there. With that, thank you everyone for checking us out, and tune in next week for our final session of the Lost Tomb of Akarut. A taste for murder. Hitchhiker of the Mind is the game I'm referencing. It's a Agatha Christie inspired game. It's pretty fun. I've run it a couple times. It's fun. It's got one problem that really irritates me, but that's just, there are good reasons. Anyway, that's going to be the end of today's session. I know it's a little early, but that's okay because we are prepping for next week's epilogue, and that's what we're going to do. Everyone take care of yourself, go live good and happy lives, and don't forget, the most important advice that I can offer you is always remember to call your cat and feed your mom. Bye, everyone.